Fog curls around gaslit alleys. Footsteps echo on slick cobblestones. And somewhere in the shadows, something waits. He had no face, no name, no past, but he had a legacy written in blood and fear. The name Jack the Ripper still chills the spine more than a century later. Tonight, we walk into the dark, into a story that London never forgot and never solved. Victorian London was a city of opposites, glittering wealth in the West End, crushing poverty in the East. Whitechapel, where our story unfolds, was crowded, dirty, and desperate. Gin flowed like water, crime was rampant, and the fog, it didn't just hide shadows, it hid danger. This was a place abandoned by the powerful, but for one killer, it was a perfect hunting ground. It began quietly. August 31st, 1888. A woman named Mary Ann Nichols was found on Bucks Row, her throat slashed, her abdomen mutilated. But no one had seen a thing. At first, police suspected a drunken brawl, a violent client, nothing more. But that illusion would not last long. Just 1 week later, another woman was found, then another. The wounds were eerily precise, surgical, and panic began to grow. They called them the Canonical Five. Mary Ann Nichols, Annie Chapman Elizabeth, Strud Catherine Eddowes, and Mary Jane Kelly. Each woman poor and desperate. Each attack more brutal than the last. But were there only 5? Some believe the killer struck before and after. Others think the 5 were chosen for a reason. And Mary Jane Kelly, found in her own room, barely recognizable, marked the end, or perhaps just the beginning of a silence. Then came the letters, hundreds of them, but one stood out. It was signed, Jack the Ripper. It spoke with cruel wit. It teased the police. It described details only the killer could know. Whether it was real or hoax, no one is sure. The name stuck, Jack the Ripper, a killer with a pen as sharp as his knife, and a legacy that carved itself into history. Scotland Yard threw everything at the case. Detectives scoured the alleys. They interviewed butchers, doctors, lunatics. They questioned suspects ranging from local criminals to royalty. Some believed it was a surgeon, others a foreigner, or even a woman. The city was locked in fear. Londoners refused to walk alone. Headlines screamed, but the Ripper vanished into mist. Over 100 names have surfaced in the years since. Montague Druitt, a troubled barrister who drowned himself in the Thames. Aaron Kosminski, a Polish immigrant with a history of mental illness. Prince Albert Victor, the Queen's own grandson caught in conspiracy and rumor. Even Lewis Carroll, the author of Alice in Wonderland, has been accused. The theories never end, the evidence always incomplete. No name sticks, no face appears, only shadows. Victorian forensics were crude. Crime scenes were contaminated. Autopsies were rushed, and worst of all, Whitechapel's poor were often ignored. Some say the killer was protected. Others say the truth was buried to prevent scandal. A doctor, a nobleman. What's certain is this: Jack the Ripper didn't disappear. He simply stopped, or changed, or died. But the terror he left behind still lingers. You can still walk those streets: Mitre Square, Hanbury Street, Dorset Street, though now gone. But at night, when the lamps flicker and the fog rolls in, the past feels close. The silence, familiar, and the footsteps, not always yours. London holds on to its secrets, and some of them wear a knife. Do you dare to walk where Jack once stalked? Join expert guides on a night tour through Victorian alleys, crime scenes, and conspiracy sites. See the case files. Hear the stories. Stand where history froze in fear. We've linked the best Jack the Ripper tours in the description. Walk into the mystery. Step into the past. And maybe, just maybe, click the link below to book your Jack the Ripper tour. The shadows are waiting. How can you book these fantastic experiences? The links to all these amazing activities are in the video description. Planning more adventures? Check out my Amazon store, Lucy Evans Travel Guides, for expert tips and side recommendations. Link in the description. Loved this video? Make sure to subscribe and drop a like. Your support helps us bring you the best travel content.